try to do something that we think that the residents would enjoy. And this month we brought along, I actually brought along part of my family to help with this. And so we're going to make tortellini. So with me today, and we'll just kind of follow along, we've got Martina Miller and Cameron Christopher. He is not part of my family. That is, he is the activity director here at Loch. We have got Catherine Ronquetto, and we have my sister Patty Lolli down there, and next to her is Katie Amade. Katie, you better turn to the camera and wave.
Hello. I'm busy.
We invited Catherine and Katie. Catherine and Katie live here at Loch, and they are also Italian, and they know how to make tortellini. So we thought we would just kind of make some for you and show you how we do it. This is kind of a tradition for our family to get together at least once a year and do them for Christmas holidays. And we get together and make them, and then the best part is we get to eat them, and that's what we're going to hope the residents can do as well. So I want to start out just kind of telling you what we do. Patty, do you want to start out telling about your meat filling and just kind of how we've already cooked the filling, and we've already put together the pasta dough. So Patty can kind of explain how she does the filling.
I make the meat filling the day before, always. You could even make it 2 days before, so that I guess everything just blends and it's better. But before we start, I let it set out for an hour or two because it really works better at room temperature, don't you think, Katie?
Yes.
It really, it binds. But you can use, all Italians do it just a little bit different, as these two ladies here will are going to be. They both make their tortellini just a little bit different. And you can use a combination, or just, I used beef. You can eat beef, veal, chicken, pork, ground. You can use a combination of them or just one. I just use beef for this. Breadcrumbs, an egg, Parmesan cheese, and the little secret ingredient that we always say is nutmeg. Do you use nutmeg in your filling, Catherine? See, they didn't. But my family did. Did you? Yep, okay, there you go. So that's how you make the meat filling. Just brown your meat, drain it off, and then put it all in, the egg, what have you, and refrigerate it for a day or two, and then it's ready to go. And it should be very binding. It should stick together so that when you make your little filling balls, it'll stick together. So there you go.
Patty always makes the meat filling, and I always make the dough. And I can remember back when we were 20-something, and we said, you know, we better figure out how to do this, and because Mom and Grandma and Aunt Mary aren't going to be around forever, so we better figure out how to do this. So that was just kind of how the job fell. And believe me, that first year it was kind of a mess because I tried to do the dough, and it was really quite something. So what I have learned, what I like to do is you make the dough just like I'm sure anyone else makes noodle dough. And my thing is, I like to start out though with a little flour. It's usually 1 cup of flour, 1 cup and 1 egg to each egg. I mean, that's how we do it, is 1 egg to each cup of flour. I actually put a little bit of milk with mine. I put like a half of an egg shell of milk, and I also put just a tad bit of oil in it as I'm mixing it. And how I actually do it is to do 2 cups. I actually start with that 1.5 cup of flour, and I put 2 eggs in it and my other things, and then I just kind of start mixing it and adding the flour so it's not so big. And I only do 2 cups at a time. Some people, you've seen great big bowls of dough, and it's too hard, you know, to keep it going and to get it nice. And the trick is you want to get it to be elastic because you're going to put it through the pasta machine. So here we go. Here's part of it. And the main thing is you've got to keep it really sealed. As you're making this, keep them really sealed shut, airtight, and because you don't want dry dough as you're doing it. So I even stick it back in the Tupperware as I'm working it. On your pasta machine, you start down low on your first setting, and you take it through. There's 3 settings here that can make just what we're doing with the tortellini, or I suppose ravioli or tortelloni. And then you've got your different noodle settings. But anyway, start with the 1 and you just keep going up. And here's 2. Still looks kind of short and like it's not going to be able to work. There's 3. You might pull it out a little. Here comes down to 4. Now if this breaks, I didn't do a very good job of my noodles. Here it's coming out the other side. And so we have it nice and elastic. I guess I better get that. So I can throw that up in the air. We're going to give this one actually to Cameron, because Cameron has never made tortellini. So we're going to be teaching Cameron how to do that. But I think maybe what I'll do is I'll do one more, and I'm going to give it over here to Patty. And Patty, you can kind of explain what you do with the meat. But you guys keep working on this. Catherine and Martina, you can kind of show Cameron too as we're going here. Or if you want to go ahead and show him, Martina, why don't you demonstrate that to him? And we'll give Patty a break.
Okay. All right, so you just take, well, Patty says that I don't do it right. So Patty should come down here.
No,
Just take
everybody
about-
has your own way.
I don't know, a half a teaspoon, just kind of a pinch of meat. And you're going to layer, you're going to do a row of meat down your pasta, so about that size, and then how much room do you leave in between? I don't know.
I never,
Half an inch.
an inch.
Inch.
You can turn it.
Just enough that you can.
Turn it.
Enough that you can twist it. So yeah, you'll want to make a row of. Very good. And everyone has a different way of twisting their dough. I can see that Catherine does hers different than.
So, as we said, everybody makes them just a little bit different. As Patty was saying earlier, Italy is made up, here in the United States, we're divided by states. And in Italy, it's divided by provinces. And like our mother came from the Piemontese, they're called Piemontese. So it's a very, very, very northern part of Italy. Our
Close
dad
to the
was
French border.
from Modena, and so that's a little bit further down. But the difference between my mom's side of the family cooking and my dad's side of the family was quite a bit of difference. And my grandmother and my aunt would have some heated arguments about how to cook these. My grandmother, my grandma Sophie Chertino, who was the northern provinces.
I laid that all out, and then I rolled all of my pasta over like this, and then I'm going to come down through. Excuse me, Mary Beth, I just wanted to
That's
show
all
them
right.
as I was doing
Interrupting
this.
is part of the Italian.
Yeah,
It's no problem.
and then you'll cut each one, as I see I've got my individual little ones, and I'm going to come back through then. And the dough is working great, and it's sticking together, and that's what you want it to do. And as Catherine's doing over here, she's going ahead, she's got hers done, and she's twisting them. And everybody has a different way of twisting them. You make a little hat, set it on flour. Watch how Catherine's doing that, and Catherine Ronquetto on this side. I've got Katie, and Catherine is doing it just a little bit different than how we do it. She's cutting each one individually, which is a good way to do it too.
Mom always used to tell the story of how the tortellini got its shape. She said that there was a king who wanted a new kind of pasta. in Italy. And he wanted a new kind of pasta, so he commissioned his cook to create a new kind of pasta. Well, the cook was somewhat of a peeping Tom. And so the cook went to the queen's chamber and looked through the keyhole and saw the queen's belly button. And so then you get the shape of the tortellini. Now, I don't know if that is fact or fable, but it makes a great story.
Okay.
I'm gonna take that out so it doesn't dry out. One thing about it is when you work this, you've got to work it. It's that your dough, as thin as it is, your pasta will dry out and then it won't get a good stick. So that's why I work them really quick. See, now Martina down there is making meatballs, but
And
I
that's
told you I-
and Katie down here made meatballs. And I
Katie's
make them a
doing
little.
meatballs, see?
Now, our grandma Chertino, our mom's mom, she says the tinier the better. Now, some of the other side of the family said the bigger the
We
better.
like the bigger the
The
better.
bigger the better, as Martina's showing you down there.
You want something to eat in there, not dough.
Yeah.
That's right, Katie.
Yeah, thank you,
Want some
Katie.
meat in there.
Right.
All this work,
And
That's
then-
right.
15 minutes to eat it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of like Thanksgiving
Cameron, he picked
Yeah.
right up
dinner.
on
It's the
it.
All
hardest thing to
right,
make.
look at you go, Cameron.
Wonder how
Awesome.
many people come to
Are you
dinner.
Italian, Cameron?
Has anyone out here ever made tortellini? Has anyone ever eaten them? Have you ever eaten them? Oh, you're gonna like it. I've got the broth going back here. If I was really good, I would have made it from the fresh, from the chicken and deboned and blah, blah, blah. But we just do the broth anyway. I mean, we don't use the chicken meat in the soup. But I have to admit, this is really working great, guys.
Our family likes these so much that we use this almost as a main dish. But really, the Italian way is, this is just an appetizer. When you would go to Grandma's house to eat them, you would have your little bowl with maybe some Italian bread or something, or a plate of vegetables or something, and then you would have your full meal. But
Our family
we changed it.
this generation changed it.
We want these as our main, and we eat them. We make, Mary Beth and I, Martina and her sister Hannah, who couldn't make it today, we make them for the whole bloomin' family, and we make a lot of them. And we always have them on Christmas Eve. That's our tradition.
We have other family members that show up and help us, so we're always happy for that.
Yes,
help.
we've had different ones at different times, depending on children.
Who can make it?
Who can make it. My daughter-in-law's in St. Louis, always want to come to help learn to do this, because I tell them you've got to carry on the tradition. But right now, they're busy with little
Well,
ones,
you
so.
try to pinch it.
My family likes it with the sauce.
Oh, and you all
Oh.
had the sauce, yeah.
We do.
So do you call that tortellini, or do you call that,
Oh, we just call it tortellini.
But you use the red sauce.
instead of the broth.
okay.
That would be
Some
good.
people call that ravioli, don't they, or is that
Well,
when you
no,
use the
that's
spinach?
different, yeah.
You use the spinach
Well,
filling.
Well, you can use the
Hey,
spinach.
ravioli has
Different
tomato,
It's just a
Spaghetti
square, your
sauce,
ravioli
Yes.
is. Do you ever make tortellini?
yeah.
Oh, I love tortellini.
I love it.
too.
You need
Tortellini
is
got the
asparagus.
spinach in it.
I mean,
Spinach?
Spinach,
what do you call it?
spinach.
Well, somebody uses that.
You use spinach and we call it cheese.
I love tortellini.
This is Jonna Ritzman, a good family friend. Okay, Jonna. You're gonna turn it
John,
all.
here.
Have you ever done this before?
One time, but I
As
forgot.
I
much,
thought so.
I thought. Roll it all.
Okay.
Roll it
Do
all.
that.
Katie, Mana.
And this is Amy Hari. She works in the office with me. Now, you
No.
saw how
Okay.
Yeah.
Cut 'em in
you,
half.
yeah, pinch it first. You want to pinch it so your dough's sealed. Like that? Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh, bella mia,
Now cut it.
Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia.
Awesome.
Amen.
Let's hear it. There is another thing when you're making tortellini, you must have a glass of wine.
Yes.
Right,
Is that right?
Yes.
This is
So, but
glorified
this
grape
is,
juice.
this is some grape juice. We are cheating.
Salute.
salute.
But we
Salute
just have to feel like.
No,
No, okay.
that's not right.
And then you need a little
Vino,
Dean Martin
vino.
going in the
Okay, let's let
background.
Amy watch too, and then we'll, okay. There you go. And then you just kind of form it around. Now, Grandma always said you're supposed to have a hole right there. See how that hole is?
Yeah.
My grandma always said that because they would float up in your broth.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people don't do that.
Plastic that is.
There you go.
Tell me about this. This is called the Veni Mangiare.
Dana Manjaro.
Yep.
Do meats.
My kids wanted me to make them one
So is
of
it
the
better
recipes
to,
that they
pull
liked
it
and
around?
everything, so
From the side or the
we
side
made this.
together?
Okay, so these are all your
That way
recipes.
you have a hole, you don't have a
That's
seam.
great.
And then I always come back
there's
and press
pictures
that
in there where
seam
they're.
too.
Okay.
Oh, how nice.
That's Uncle John, he made the breadsticks.
Oh, how nice. I'd love to have a copy of this. That's
Well,
great.
that's what somebody else has asked me about. My
Oh, I need to look at that. I'll have to look at
Yes.
that after.
That's
That's
great.
great.
daughter had these
Yep.
made in St. Louis.
How great.
Don't want you to lose your
We had them
place.
filmed.
Well, I'm just kind of bouncing right here.
If you get more pasta than you do meat, it's great. The pasta's just as good as the meat.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you can just take, what we
Okay, now
usually
you all are
do,
making
then
meatballs.
if we,
Cut that about in half.
if we get too much pasta, then I can just take my little thing here, and I can run some noodles right through
Okay,
here.
that's plenty. If you're gonna use that big, then you turn it over. Okay.
See, and then
I'm
here's
gonna
your,
do your own.
here's your
Okay.
noodles.
Look at that.
And so then you've got your noodles, and then you just put them out. I put them out and dry them, and then I drop them in my soup.
Katie's reading the cookbook.
Katie.
When do you all have yours? Christmas, Thanksgiving? Just whenever you get them made?
Yeah, I never get them made. Faster to eat them. I do dishes.
We have no problem getting somebody to eat.
Yes, good question, Jonna wanted to know what we do after, we let them dry, a long time dry, and then you could put them in the freezer, just out on the cookie sheets like this, and when they're frozen solid, then you can bag them until you need them, and they stay really good in the freezer.
I actually take them pretty much right from here to the freezer. You know what I
I
mean?
do too, I
Just
just
let
let
'em-
mine.
Yep.
Okay.
And so they're fine that way. Now, it's always said that if you're a little bit under the weather, if you've got a little flu, a cold, eat some tortellini. They're bound to make you feel a lot better. I don't know if it's the tortellini or the wine.
I think it's the wine.
It's the wine.
Yeah.
I think it's the chicken broth.
I don't
I
get
think it's oh yes it is.
tortellinis to eat. Yeah.
My dad, when we got cold and things, he used to get the wine. And he always made 3 different kinds of wine when he made wine. The first one was real strong, and the next one was a little bit less. I liked the third wine better than I did anyway. But he'd put it on the stove and warm it. And he'd put a match to it and it burns out the alcohol. And then he'd give us the warm wine for cold. And that was our medicine.
Wow. I need that recipe for that. One of the things too, when you boil them, you don't want to get them into a real heavy rolling boil, or you'll get your meat all coming out because the pasta is thin. So you want to just kind of a gentle boil.
When you boil your chicken, you need to put onion, celery in it. And my mother always strained her, and it was never a real thick sauce with all that grease on it that you see on a lot of them and everything. Never that way. She made the best soups. My kids said, oh gosh, Grandma's soups were the best.
So the folds on this side.
You got to have them back. So
Okay, back side here.
I put your finger in it, so the whole thing get
Okay.
together.
Okay.
I bring that side over and pass it to this one.
See, she's totally doing that differently.
Well, it doesn't
She's
look
really
as
getting a
foldy.
hole in it too.
Get her
Oh.
hole in it.
Mm-hmm, really getting that.
Well, she does it on the back side, so she's like, your folds on this side, you hold this side, and then you fold together.
Because when this meat's gone, that's it.
So the opposite side.
Manja, manja.
Oh,
Yeah, well, that almost looks like it.
yeah.
And then, we used to, just for a joke, every once in a while, we would put, there would be one secret tortellini, would have a whole clove of garlic in it. Did y'all ever do that?
It'd be a great big one so that whoever was the selfish one and wanted that great big one, it'd have a whole clove of
The whole
garlic.
clove of
We don't
garlic,
do
so when
that
they ate,
anymore.
yeah. We haven't done that for a while.
Well, I think we need to bring that back.
Yeah. I
Do what?
know just who I hope gets it.
No,
I do.
yeah.
So, we're gonna go ahead and drop these in the hot broth. And again, it's just a rolling boil. It's not a really,
Like that?
an easy rolling boil.
Because you don't want your
I'm getting it.
tortellini to fall apart. If you get a hard boil, this whole thing could disintegrate in there.
And I honestly always freeze them before. So we may have,
It's stuck together.
we may have them stuck or fall apart. I don't know. We'll go easy.
They don't if you don't put them all in at one time.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
why
just
I'm
do,
just
we'll just do a
doing a
few at a
few.
time. That is why we have Catherine and Katie here today.
And they're floating. That's why we put the little holes in them.
Katie sank. So this is the finished product, and of course, you need to put a little Parmesan cheese, or we like Parmesan on it. And someone asked, how do you know when they're done? They normally will float to the top, and again, you want them at just a gentle boil. And we just do a lot of tasting to make sure that the pasta is right where we like it. Everyone likes pasta a little bit different. We like it a little bit what you call al dente, which means to the teeth, a little firm. But that's them. They're cooked in the chicken broth, and they are just a favorite for everyone. Well, the best part now is to eat them. So we've got several residents out here that are going to do a little taste test. We're not going to put that on camera just in case it didn't turn out well, but we think that it will. We'll cool them off, and we're going to have a treat. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you when we come back for our next third Friday. It'll probably be after the first of the year, actually, the next time that we do that. So we have fun doing this, and our residents, we think, oh, thank you. We think that they enjoy eating the food that we cook. So, from everybody, let's hear it, guys. Manja!
Manja.
We're at Loch Haven, and we are presenting at the third Friday Chef Series here at Loch Haven. And every month.
There is the finished product, homemade strawberry ice cream. Homemade strawberry ice cream. And this concludes our third Friday Chef Series. I hope you tune in again next month, and we'll see you soon at Loch Haven.